This is NABJ NAHJ News.
Ahead on NABJ NAHJ News, today the U.S. Attorney General joined the largest gathering of minority journalists at this year's convention. At issue, race relations and the police.
History and writing foundations of the First Amendment, things a journalist especially loves. A look inside this playground for journalists.
And he's the man making you look good and keeping your shoes sharp. Coming up, we speak with this man who's leaving his footprint through the hotel.
Thousands of journalists have made their way to the nation's capital to be part of the first ever joint convention between Black and Hispanic journalists. And
it's all happening right here at the Marriott Waterman Park Hotel.
Hello and welcome to NABJ NAHJ News. I'm Donovan Harrell.
And I'm Gabriela Fernandez. Just 1 month after the shooting of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, the conversation on police and minority relations continues. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch spoke to NABJ NAHJ members at the convention this morning, addressing race relations and law enforcement. Police shootings in Baton Rouge and Falcon Heights last month raised questions about divisions between law enforcement and the community. Lynch said accountability is one of the first steps to improving police-community relations.
So we want to have a system whereby we, the community, know what your disciplinary routine is. To their local law enforcement. We want to know what kind of infractions lead to what kind of discipline, and we want to see the records of that. And where police departments can actually do that, they will make great strides.
Other topics discussed included issues between police and undocumented immigrants. Lynch also praised NABJ NAHJ organizations for what she says does a great job telling the untold stories of minorities.
Many people complain that the media doesn't go far enough in ensuring that their coverage reaches all communities. A conference panel talked about ways to train journalists to have a more diverse source list and report more fairly on communities of color. Managers looked at strategies to ensure diversity in news coverage. That's anything from employing diverse voices to building bridges with underrepresented communities.
When you have different voices telling you that, well, this is how someone may look at this story versus how another person may look at the story, it's always good to hear those voices.
Former news director Juan Singleton says he made sure to employ both male and female staff and reporters of different cultures.
With just some 3 months away from the presidential election, and voters are turning more and more to social media to voice their political views. A Facebook page called Blacks for Trump is creating quite the buzz. One of the administrators of the page is just 16 years old. Craig Jackson Jr. says that he felt that he was alone in supporting Trump as an African American. But through the Facebook page, he found an instant connection to other Black Trump supporters.
My family supports me in whatever I do, but I can tell you the one thing they don't support is my political belief and my decision to back Donald J. Trump.
The Blacks for Trump page has almost 5,000 likes. Jackson says that he has high hopes that the page will continue to get even more likes. For more information about the Facebook page and exclusive interview with the creator of the Facebook page, Eric Royer, make sure you pick up our newspaper and visit online at nabjnahjstudentprojects.com.
Dozens of media professionals today gathered at the Virginia Hall B this afternoon to learn about resources when covering immigration in the news. A panel led by experts in the field of immigration were on hand to help journalists understand the difficult language when covering immigration issues to the community. Journalists were given resources to turn to find people to interview.
So I believe we, as citizens, need to be able to be well informed. And as journalists, we need to know how to cover it and give people the facts that they need.
Law immigration attorney and TV commentator Nelson Castillo suggests journalists should seek a lawyer before publishing or airing a piece to make sure the facts are correct.
The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA, was implemented in 2012 by President Barack Obama. This program applies to immigrants who came to America under 16 years of age and before 2007. These people are commonly known as dreamers. Ellie Perez is a dreamer, and this is her story.
Where's the list of places?
Eli Perez arrived to this country from Mexico 21 years ago and without any documents. Despite growing up poor, her life is a great example of perseverance.
Y yo veía a mi mamá, trabajaba limpieza de casa. Hubo un tiempo donde también trabajó de construcción. Ella siempre nos dijo que iba a hacer lo más posible para que tuviéramos una buena vida.
Realizing that there was something that made her different from her classmates was not easy.
Nunca en verdad entendí que yo era indocumentada. Cuando en verdad me di cuenta de que después de la high school para mí no había más opciones, fue el día de mi graduación. Todas mis amigas y mis amigos estaban bien emocionados. Se iban a ir a la universidad a seguir sus sueños. El día después de mi graduación me desperté temprano y agarré una cubeta y un trapeador. Y ese era mi futuro. Mi mamá no me trajo a este país para eso.
Ellie did not allow her legal status to steal her dreams of going to college, although the cost of community college was 3 times greater than what legal residents pay. That's why it took her 5 years to finish a program that takes most people 2. It is an accomplishment that drove her mom to tears.
Me siento muy orgullosa de todo lo que ella está haciendo. Fui la primera en mi familia en graduarse de cualquier universidad, ¿verdad? Cualquier colegio. Y en mayo seré la primera persona de toda mi familia en graduarse de una universidad. Yo creo que si mi infancia no hubiera sido difícil y no me hubiera dado cuenta que yo era indocumentada, no sé si lo valoraría.
Her life changed when she found out that she qualified for DACA.
No teníamos dinero. No tenía cómo arreglarle a mis hijas ese permiso.
Soon they received the help they needed to make the payments, and within months had been approved for DACA. After that, the doors opened for her first job, which was campaigning for Kate Gallego.
Me convertí en la primera soñadora en trabajar en la ciudad de Phoenix, ahora que ya tengo mi DACA.
At the Democratic National Convention, Ellie represented the Dreamers and young activists for the rights of undocumented workers from the state of Arizona.
Yo y otras Dreamers somos las primeras soñadoras en la historia de Arizona de ir como parte de la delegación.
Now this young dreamer says she supports the struggle of the undocumented immigrants like her and will continue to defend their rights.
Thousands of young undocumented immigrants are now able to get work permits. This comes after President Obama's 2012 executive action granting permits to children who entered this country illegally. The president's order lowered the cost for legal and application fees of these permits.
Students don't have the money to go to a lawyer and make sure that all the paperwork is well filled out, and it's really expensive to get a lawyer.
Une Bonaparte used the Immigration Youth Coalition based out of California to renew her work permit. She says going to the organization helped her focus on school and not the cost of legal advice.
Coming up, a visit by the president, but now to our convention. Our news team finds out why this visit was so presidential.
And it's a paradise for a journalist. Our crews take you inside this massive collection of journalistic history.
7 on your side, 4 little words that pack a big punch.
Can you get that camera out of my face?
That hold government officials accountable.
Heads will roll.
7 on your side alerts you to scams and protects you from ripoffs.
Well, what about her car?
7 on your side spells bad news for the bad guys.
I got to run around until you guys stepped in.
When you have a problem that won't go away,
is the FDA doing enough?
Turn to ABC 7 News and just say the words, 7 on your side.
Take what you find here and make it better and better. For 140 years, the people of Lilly have made these words our commitment. We're proud of our scientific achievements through the years. Since those early contributions, progress continues in diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Striving for better isn't only in the products we make, but how we work with others to make life better for our loved ones, our community, and our world.
There are so many opportunities at this year's convention, but there are some perks outside the hotel too.
NABJ NAHJ's very own Sebastian Vega takes you inside of one of our country's most popular museums.
Right in the heart of D.C., it's one of the newsiest places you can go, but this museum brings in more than just reporters.
It's pretty amazing.
It's interesting seeing what's going on all around the country instead of just in North Carolina.
This is the massive museum. Opened its doors in D.C. in just 2008, it stands 9 floors high and contains valuable objects related to the history of storytelling and journalism, some dating back to the 16th century. This place is littered with history. Everywhere you look, artifacts, news. Right here, a section of the Berlin Wall, some of the most iconic objects in the country, all here at your disposal. Some of the things you can see are an enormous memorial to journalists, honoring those lost in the field, dating back to 1837. From modern times, portions of the Berlin Wall, the largest gallery outside of Germany. And from 9/11, a mangled broadcast antenna salvaged from the rubble of the fallen Twin Towers. If you're under 18, admission right now is free. For others, look to pay between $19 to $23. As a bonus, it gets you in for 2 days to take a glimpse at history. Sebastian Vega, NABJ, NAHJ News.
Every year, one lucky journalism student gets the chance to travel the country and attend 5 journalism conventions in cities across the country.
This year, our own Charlie Cadado from Student Project was selected through the Unity organization. His first trip is right here in Washington, D.C. for the NABJ NAHJ convention. He will travel to Las Vegas, New Orleans, and Miami through the summer for the other conventions as well.
Charlie joins us now in studio with more on the program. Charlie, what can you tell us about the fellowship?
Well, Donovan and Gabriella, thank you so much for having me. This is an incredible experience, and as you may know, Unity is a national alliance of 3 different journalism organizations for minorities in media. Of course, the National Lesbian and Gay Journalists Organization, the Asian American Journalists Association, and the Native American Journalists Association. And NABJ and NAHJ are the 2 largest groups involved, so I'm very excited to be here in D.C., and I'm a proud member, by the way, of NABJ and AAJA, and I think after this convention I'm going to have to become a member of NAHJ as well. The student projects are a lot of fun, very busy, lots of work, lots of fun at the same time, and of course lots of networking.
That's awesome.
All right, we've enjoyed having you, Charlie, and good luck at the rest of those conventions.
Thanks a lot.
You may have seen President Obama's motorcade driving by the convention hotel. It caused a lot of excitement and hope that the president would make an appearance at our convention. Now that wasn't the case. And Sophie Tapia is here live in studio to tell us why.
That's right, Donovan. Every conference hopes to have the President of the United States as its keynote speaker. Unfortunately, NABJ NAHJ was unable to secure him. But on Wednesday, President Obama visited our neighborhood. He spoke across the street at the Omni Shoreham Hotel for a project that's very close to his heart. On Monday, 1,000 students from 49 sub-Saharan African countries arrived at the Omni Shoreham Hotel for the Presidential Summit. The 3-day summit was part of the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders. The fellowship is an offshoot of President Obama's 2010 Young African Leaders Initiative, created to support young African leaders. The president shared some inspirational words with the fellows on Wednesday evening.
You're young, you're talented, optimistic. You're already showing you can make a difference. So what we want to do through Yale is to connect you with each other and to resources and to networks that can help you become the leaders in business and government and civil society of tomorrow.
The once-in-a-lifetime experience is something these fellows will carry with them.
If I'm to break down everything I've learned, what I'm to do daily, you know, to make sure I take a chip off the block of the big vision is what is paramount in my heart now. And if I'm to simply put it the way President Obama put it yesterday, he said, worry less about what it is you want to become and worry more about the things you want to do.
40,000 applied for the fellowship, but only 1,000 were accepted and studied at 40 different universities across the U.S. Their training and classes follow 3 separate tracks: business, entrepreneurship, and civic engagement. Many of the fellows have returned to their countries already, while others will stay 6 more weeks, interning in various states. The summit ended on Thursday, but the fellows will continue to receive professional support from the program when they are back home. For NABJ NAHJ, I'm Sophie Tapia. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Sophie. Whether it's the digital age of journalism or the digital disruptor, these tools affect our newsroom every day. Coming up, we talk to experts on how to make this a tool in the newsroom.
I love NABJ because they continue to bring in young, bright journalists and ensure that our business has a bright future. I love NABJ because it recognizes that people should be able to turn on television and see people look like people they know, people their neighbor in their community. And as long as NABJ is at the forefront of that fight, we're going to be okay.
What sets Stormwatch 7 apart? Our job, I think, as television meteorologists, is to empower the viewer to make better decisions. It has a lot to do with the members of the weather team. I think we have a pretty good track record. I think viewers expect and also deserve solid, dependable forecast every single day. I take pride in everything the weather team does. You put us all together, very proud. Best team I've had in 38 years on TV, no question.
Take what you find here and make it better and better. For 140 years, the people of Lilly have made these words our commitment. We're proud of our scientific achievements through the years. Since those early contributions, progress continues in diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Striving for better isn't only in the products we make, but how we work with others to make life better for our loved ones, our community, and our world.
In this digital age, social media is king. In the media business, it's also becoming a news gathering tool. Ariana Maniz is live in studio to tell us more.
That's right, Gabriella. Some would say that social media has disrupted the news business, but here at NABJ NAHJ, social media is a powerful tool in the industry. A journalist's toolbox is no longer just a pen and paper. Social media has shifted the landscape.
And there are so many platforms now that you really have to decide which one you want to use in order to become an expert in it, because there's something new every 6 months in social media.
Ingrid Sturgis is a professor at Howard University. She says social media has become the basis of what journalism is today. Platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram give journalists a glimpse of what's trending with their audience.
Pretty much wherever the people are, the audience, wherever the audience is, that's where we want to be. We want to be in that space.
Facebook is widely used around the world, but Snapchat is now gaining ground as a popular news source for younger consumers. Snapchat allows users to send and receive photos and 10-second videos to friends or post on a personal feed, but the recipient is only allowed to view it once before it disappears. Experts say millennials are gravitating to more immediate platforms like Snapchat.
Well, I use Snapchat every day just because of the 24 hours, and they have different filters. You can have fun with it, and it shows more of your personality than Twitter and with Instagram.
I think a lot of the visual platforms are the way to go for a lot of younger 18 to 34 users and readers and viewers.
Bloomberg reports the mobile-only app was introduced in 2011 and has ballooned to over 150 million daily users.
And I think Snapchat is really good for branding because what you want to do is make connections with your audience that will ultimately stay.
Snapchat's ability to be used as a news gathering tool is still forming, and some managers are still wondering about its value to drive revenue to their organizations. I'm Ariana Maniz. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Ariana. And it looks like we're a trending topic on Twitter since this convention's been going on.
That's good to hear, because I've been tweeting a lot just to get our news stories out to everyone at the convention.
That's right.
Thank you.
Right now, we want to take the time to thank the Knight Foundation for funding this year's NABJ NAHJ student project.
The foundation has been running since 1950, and its mission has been to fund organizations that support excellence in journalism.
The Knight Foundation has helped many minority programs that serve the community, and we thank them for supporting this year's NABJ NAHJ student project. Still ahead, meet a man who's been a shining example of good business for over 30 years. We'll have more coming up.
ABC 7 and News Channel 8 are honored to support the National Association of Black Journalists.
Your vision and 41-year commitment to developing the next generation of journalists is an inspiration. Thank you, NABJ.
Welcome back to NABJ NAHJ News.
We're going to take a look at the weather with Marco Revuelta. Marco, how's the weather looking?
Good evening, guys. Well, if you were outside today, you probably felt the hot temperatures, but let's take a look if they're going to last for tomorrow. Well, when we wake up around 8 in the morning, we're going to expect around 75. You know, more towards lunchtime, we're going to see 80, and as we move through the day, it's going to be around 86. Let's take a look at the futurecast for tomorrow. Clearly clear skies, no rain for DC in the area, but as the weekend gets closer to us, we are expected to see a little bit of rain pushing through to this DC area. You might want to cancel your plans or reconsider them if you're going to be visiting the monuments. Now, for those who are in the city and think they're going to miss out, there's another chance. Sunday, we will see clear skies with cloudy skies. You know, it's a perfect day to take your family out to a picnic outside the monuments. Now, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Like I said, Friday, a little bit of rain. Saturday, 40%. And Sunday, the perfect day, and has no more rain until Thursday. Well, guys, that's all we have for the weather today. We'll send it back to you, Gabby.
Thank you, Marcos. Walking into the DMV for a license might not sound like a privilege. For undocumented immigrants in DC, it was not even possible.
To get a driver's license, most people are not strangers to the long lines at the Department of Motor Vehicles, or DMV. For undocumented immigrants in DC, this process once took more than a year. Abel Nunez, director of the Central American Resource Center, or CRECEN, led the initiative to change that.
In 2014, the DC Council approved a law providing driver's license for people that did not have documents or were not legally here.
DC is one of 11 cities that offers a driver's license to undocumented people. The law was a step forward for the immigrant community, but created a new barrier for them to cross.
As the implementation went forward with our community, you know, we saw that there was a different system for them, that they needed to make an appointment. They couldn't just go like everybody else.
According to the DMV director, the appointment process was created to avoid overcrowding.
Most people don't rush out to get a driver's license. They go when they feel that they're ready.
In an attempt to prevent one problem, the system created another. 8 months worth of backlogged appointments. There was no account for double entries or cancellations.
People were making multiple appointments. In the event that they would fail, they had another appointment ready. Unfortunately, legislators passed good laws, but in the implementation phase is when problems can exist.
The work of CRECEN to change this system paid off this month.
Well, as of August 2nd, you can just go in.
For this community, the importance behind a license or ID goes beyond driving. It allows the undocumented to more firmly become part of the community, something that could increase their economic outlook. For NABJ NAHJ TV, I'm Sophie Tapia.
Coming up, reporter Chris Grisby takes a look at how our Redskins are shaping up.
I'm starting. I'm liking getting up, yeah. On the good side of the daylight, when it feels right. I'm starting. Every 10 minutes. On the good side, hit me. Good morning, Washington. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes. Starting up. Good morning, Washington. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes. Starting up. I'm starting my day.
Take what you find here and make it better and better. For 140 years, the people of Lilly have made these words our commitment. We're proud of our scientific achievements through the years. Since those early contributions, progress continues in diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Striving for better isn't only in the products we make, but how we work with others to make life better for our loved ones, our community, and our world.
Welcome back. Chris Grisby joins us. Chris, I've been having a tough time keeping up with the Redskins. What's been going on with them?
Yeah, let us know how the training camp's doing.
Well, the training camp is underway. Day 7 is officially out of the books, and the Redskins are looking pretty good. After a light day on Wednesday, Jay Gruden had the players right back on the field, including wide receiver Deshaun Jackson. After an offseason where Deshaun missed various voluntary meetings and practices, Jackson has been on the field every step of the way all week long. There's also been fierce battles between he and newly signed corner Josh Norman. Our Aaron Hawksworth caught up with the two to find out about his motivation behind this season.
How's your camp going so far?
Camp's going good. We're like a week and a day in, so we're kind of at that point now where we're just trying to peak, and we're all feeling good. Our legs are under our body and things like that.
How has Josh Norman being here changed things at camp this year?
Oh man, tremendously. I think his mentality, his competitive nature, having a corner like him that's known to be one of the best corners in the NFL is definitely a great thing to have on the other side of the ball.
Is it fun for you as a competitor to go up against him? And I know some people on social media were kind of giving him a hard time because you burned him a little bit. Is that fun for you though?
Honestly, it's training camp, and it's one-on-ones. One-on-ones is different from a game, and then and it's practice. Everybody's trying to, he's in a new environment, new situation. So, I'm just gonna really give him that work just as well he's gonna give me that work.
How has fatherhood changed your approach to the game?
Tremendously. My son, this is who I do it for. I have another mouth to feed now, and he definitely puts a smile on my face when, probably I'm mad or I'm frustrated or I don't want to do something. He's the one that's sitting there like, Daddy, this is for you. This is who you're doing it for,
And as you can tell, cornerback Josh Norman isn't normal. At least that's what one Jay-Z says is one of his latest hits, saying, and I quote, "Perform like Josh Norman, I ain't normal." The name of the song is I Got the Keys, and for all the Googlers out there, boom. Aaron Hawksworth asked Norman about the shout out.
You're talking about fun. How fun was it when Jay-Z shouted you out in I Got the Keys?
It's cool, he's a very respectable guy. Had a conversation, his intellect is out of this world, and I appreciate it, of course, but you hear it all the time, and it's just like, yeah, I got the keys, and I'm a one-on-one corner of Josh Norman, I'm not normal kind of thing, and it's like, all right, cool, man. You hear it blaring, and it's like, what's up?
Did he tell you he was gonna do that? How did you find out?
Nah, it's just something that came about.
How did you meet him?
We met, and I want to say, in California, like mines. I think you want to grow and see how people are at the top and the pinnacle of their profession. And
I wish Jay-Z make a song about me.
He should make a song about me and you, like Biggie and Pac.
I don't know about all that.
Nah?
No.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Well, I bet those players go through a lot of shoes in just a month. However, one man in the nation's capital has made sure to make everyone's feet look good for years.
That's right, Donovan. And our own Marco Revuelta got a chance to speak to the man keeping your shoes bright.
Well, guys, when y'all think about hotel employees, y'all probably think about front desk assistants, bellhops, or bartenders. But not a shoe shiner. Well, today we got to talk to a man who's been shoe shining for quite a while now.
It's the first thing a woman look at when she deals with a man is his feet.
For over 30 years, Carl Turner has been shining shoes in the Washington, D.C. area. What began as a hobby taught by his father is how he makes his living today.
I started for a quarter, and I have gotten as much as $50 sometimes.
Turner is at work every morning by 8 a.m. with supplies on hand, checking out shoes that he believes could use a shine. The passion for cleaning shoes has never left him.
I love it.
Why do you love it?
Well, the money is great, and it's needed.
There's nothing more rewarding for Turner than seeing his clients' expressions after seeing their shoes shined. This happy space takes his mind off his two children he lost in a space of a month. One to an accident, the other one suffered a heart attack.
It gets my mind off it. Yeah, it takes my mind off of it. Because I'm still in mourning and grieving. If I didn't have this to do, I probably would go crazy.
To Turner, this job is not work, it's a calling.
Do what you want, do what you enjoy doing. It makes you feel better at the end of the day.
Well, guys, while I was there, I was able to see the connection Turner has with some people that we even jammed to Shoe Shoe Shine with some of his clients.
I bet that was fun. Well, Marco, you did a great job on that project, and it seems like our mentors put in a lot of work to make sure we did a good job on this newscast.
Yes,
what do you guys think?
It was amazing to see the opportunity of students from all across the country, both on the NABJ side and the NAHJ side, come together and unite.
Yeah, some cultural exchange, yeah.
It was a great experience for everything. I think everything learned something
Definitely
new.
met some new people, amazing people with talent.
All right, well, That's it for our news. Thank you for joining us. We'd like to thank everyone at ABC 7 News for helping to make our newscast shine.
And another big thank you to all of our mentors with the Student Project. Be sure to go to NABJ NAHJ studentproject.com for more coverage anytime. Thank you for watching.